Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you can hear me at the moment. If someone can just let me know in chat that the audio is working. Okay, I see a raised hand, so I'm going to assume that that's telling me the audio is working today. Excellent. Okay, folks, so you should be able to see my screen as well. We should have an OpenCities slide up. If someone can just let me know that that one's there as well, I'll get underway. Excellent. Well, welcome to today's release webinar for OpenCities version 1.20 that went out last Wednesday. And this is a release that focuses on top tasks in navigation. For those of you that haven't dealt with me before, I'm Roger. I'm the Customer Onboarding Manager at OpenCities, and I'll be running through today's session. It's not going to be a particularly long one, so we'll get you out of here relatively speedily. But today, what we're really looking at is a couple of new options we've added inside our theme builder. So just a quick note on these ones. These do require a theme update to start using it. So if you do have some front-end developer skills in-house, you might be able to start using them straight away. Otherwise, you might need to have a chat with Magda during your next quarterly catch-up about a theme refresh. The other thing I'm going to be bringing up and talking about a little bit is a new OpenCities role to help you manage your users on your site, and a couple of extra features that we've added in as well to make life a little bit easier for you. Okay, so firstly, looking at so that's what we're running through today. So firstly, looking at the new options inside the theme area, the one that we're really excited to talk to you about today is an expansion of the top task functionality within the site to allow you to use top tasks within your site navigation. For anyone that's gone through our sales process or our Digital Services Academy or just about any of our courses, we're likely to have talked to you about top tasks. All of the research and the testing that we've done since the beginning of OpenCities has pointed to the fact that people come to a council site with a strong purpose in mind to get something done. And so we've had these top tasks that exist on your homepage, and I'm sure you've all got them. And really the purpose of them is to shorten that journey of someone arriving on your site and then getting to where they want to be and getting what they want to get done. But looking at the stats for our existing clients and our new clients, we've actually noticed an interesting thing that only about a fifth of the clients, a fifth of the people arriving on a council website are starting their journey on your homepage. They're following links in search results, or they're looking at coming from other websites or links in email, and they're landing quite deep in your site or deeper in your site than on the homepage. Now, hopefully they're landing on the page where they want to be and they can get something done there. But if it isn't the page they're looking for, or there are related tasks that you might want to highlight for them, what we've added is the ability for you to include top tasks inside your navigation so that it's persistent across the site and available to people when they're in a particular section. So I'll show them to you shortly, along with some other options that have been added. The other option that's been added to the theme builder this release, which is our MegaMenu option. Now that one's a little simpler. It's another navigation option that exists alongside our hamburger navigation or our horizontal drop-down navigation. It's a type of navigation that's going to work really great for councils with a carefully considered navigation structure, and a great one for councils with strong governance around their site structure. And I'll bring that up again when we look at the user role that we've added. But the reason those two things are quite important is that it does present a lot of information in one go, and we don't want it growing uncontrolled on your site and overwhelming site visitors if they see just a wall of text as part of their MegaMenu. So the easiest way to show you guys both of these new theme features is to bring up one of our recently launched sites, which is the City of Unley. So who are currently using both of these features on their site. So if I bring up the City of Unley here, What you'll see is that MegaMenu that I discussed before. So this MegaMenu means that when you hover on a particular top-level navigation item, not only do you get the child pages of that navigation item, but you also get the children of that one. So it's just about bringing more of that navigation structure immediately available. As I mentioned, this is where a good site structure and a strong governance around your site structure becomes important, because this could rapidly become an overwhelming wall of text for people to see. But sitting above them, what you'll see is a number of top tasks that Unli have gone in and created to direct people to particular areas, particular tasks on their site based on the section they're in. So you'll see sitting under council, you can go in, you can pay your rates, you can change your address, or you can request some street maintenance. Sitting under bins, pets and parking, what you'll find is a number of tasks related to that. So a couple of things to note about what Unli have done. They've picked out a very small number. So we do recommend a small number of tasks, no more than about 5 or 6 inside your top task navigation. The other warning that we give councils is that it's best not to use these to try and promote, to do internal promotion or promote particular things. These are designed to help people get what they want done. So it's going to, in fact, frustrate your users if all it's doing is distracting them with things that they're not actually interested in, whereas it becomes a great tool for them if it allows them to quickly get to the task that they want to do, or quickly get to a different area of the site or a related task that they maybe didn't realize they wanted to do, but now that they see it there, they go, oh yeah, I should do that as well while I'm here. So that's what it looks like in the front end. As I mentioned, to get either of these in action, it is going to require a theme update. So it's something that you might want to chat to us around. But what's it look like in the back end? Well, look, the main site, the MegaMenu is another version of the navigation. So it's all very simple. It's just going to be coming from the structure that exists within your pages area. So that's all going to be simple. Create a page. If it's not hidden from navigation, it's going to show up. And it's one of the top 3 levels of the site. It's going to show up inside your navigation. But for the top tasks, what we've tried to do is to make sure that once it's enabled in your theme, it's very easy and very familiar for you to actually go in there and edit and update your top tasks. And if I duck across to our Point Russell site here, what you will see sitting in this pages area of the menu on the left, we've got a new content type for you guys to create inside your site. And that's this OC top task folders. Another thing I'll just draw your attention to, prior to this release, we had a content type that was OC do it online. That one's had a bit of a rename and a rebrand because we thought we're always talking to people about top tasks. Top tasks is what people are expecting. So that particular content type has now been renamed as OC top task. But what you'll see is what we've added in for these in navigation top tasks is a folder for you to store them in. It's just a simple matter of creating that folder underneath the section where you want those top tasks to be, and then going in and creating top task items underneath that. Now, as I mentioned, this is something that you'll probably be able to create straight away on your site, but you might need to enable it in your theme before they will show up, and that's something that you might need to talk to us about. But very simple, very familiar interface for anyone that's updated top tasks on their homepage. It's exactly the same content type here. You can go in, put in a title, put in an order, and put in a link to where you actually want that top task to take them to. So it's a very familiar, very simple interface for you guys to go in and add and manage those top tasks across your site. Just to draw your attention to it as well, on our main OpenCities site, we've got a great blog post that takes you through a number of tips, a number of ideas around using those top tasks and inside navigation, and understanding how you can help people to find their way through your site. So look out for that one. It is linked to in the release notes as well. So I'll finish up with a couple of bits and pieces that we've also added into the system to help make your guys' life easier managing your site and managing users. One of the things that we have added inside the system is the OpenCities editor role. So it's quite a similar one to our OC Publisher and our OC Power Publisher role. So they're two roles that we create by default that you guys can use. As you're probably aware, Power Publisher has a few more abilities than the publisher does, but one of the things that the publisher can do inside the system is actually create new pages. So they can go in and create new pages, and it's then up to you to control whether or not that page goes live through workflow. What we've done with the OC Editor role is this is a role that's set up so you can, it's one of our default roles, so it's in the system, you can set it up and you can start using it straight away. This person has similar abilities to a publisher in that they can go in and they can edit existing content, but what we've done is remove the ability for them to create new pages within the system. So you'll see why I mentioned earlier on, this is going to be a great one for controlling that site structure within your site. If you have gone to a MegaMenu or something like that, you can update your people to have that OC editor role that allows them to go in and create, edit existing content without necessarily having to control it via the workflow inside that system. The other one that I know some of you will be interested or excited to hear is that we've also extended the timeout period on editing inside the system. So there is now a 12-hour timeout period. So when you get distracted by other work, someone comes and grabs you with a question, or you end up in a different meeting, or you just need to duck out and grab a takeaway coffee. If you're working from home, you don't have to stress about losing your work. It's still going to be there unless you take a very long coffee break over 12 hours. Now, look, if you're concerned about this for internal policy reasons and you need a shorter timeout associated with your site, get in touch with the support desk and let us know, because we can reduce that for you if you want it to be shorter. One other thing that, look, we haven't had a release since we rolled out, so I'll bring it up and mention it here, is the temporary announcements for temporary COVID announcements. This is a temporary feature that we've added into the system to give you just a more flexible ability to add announcements to pages or sections within your site. So that one's available now at request. So it's not a standard feature of OpenCities. It is something we can add into sites, and we're currently looking at whether or not it's something that gets rolled into the product once everything's returned to a bit more of a state of normality. So I'll just finish up by also directing you folks to the release notes that we've got for this particular release. They're up on our website as usual. This video will go up there for you guys to reference afterwards. And it's also then got a link to further information around the top tasks and things like that in this best practice guide here. And it will also take you through the new editor role. So the new editor role, look, it's just added into your system as a role you can assign along with any others. And just a little note, look, if you do have anyone working with our API, we've had a look and no one's actually using the API to generate top tasks at the moment. But if you were planning on doing that, or you have staff planning on doing that, they should just be aware that it has had a name change. So in the API interface, they will need to update that. Okay, thank you for your time today. That's everything that we've run through, everything I've got to run through today. Top tasks in navigation, that new MegaMenu option, and the few improvements to user accounts and other bits and pieces. I will stay on this call to have a chat with people, but I'll stop the recording now.